Every human relationship has a unique essence. Some are fleeting, while others last a lifetime. But what truly matters is the quality and depth of those connections, and whether they are based on sincerity, respect, and trust. When your intentions are pure, when you interact with others from a place of authenticity and kindness, you create bonds that stand the test of time. However, in life, not everyone will resonate with your sincerity. Some people will walk away, and it's vital to understand that this isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to appreciate your genuine heart. The phrase, "When your intentions are pure, you don't lose anybody, they lose you," carries a powerful lesson. It teaches us that our value does not diminish based on someone else's decision to leave or distance themselves from us. Rather, it highlights the importance of staying true to oneself and recognizing that not everyone is meant to stay in our lives. 1. The nature of pure intentions. What does it really mean? Pure intentions are driven by values like kindness, compassion, integrity, and respect. When you have pure intentions, you approach life and relationships from a place of sincerity. You're not motivated by selfish desires or hidden agendas. Instead, you aim to uplift, support, and nurture those around you. To have pure intentions is to act without expecting something in return. For instance, offering to help someone in need without seeking recognition is an example of pure intentions. This kind of generosity stems from empathy, where your primary concern is the well-being of others. In relationships, pure intentions manifest in how we treat others with care, how we communicate honestly, and how we show up consistently even when it's difficult. Think about a time when you went out of your way to support someone without expecting anything in return. That act of kindness, born from your pure intention, speaks volumes about your character. But pure intentions are not just about the external actions we take. They also involve the internal mindset. When you live with pure intentions, your thoughts and feelings align with your values. You want the best for people without harboring resentment, envy, or bitterness. This purity of thought allows you to maintain a sense of peace and balance, even when faced with adversity. 2. Why you don't lose people, they lose you. One of the most significant realizations you can have in life is that people who leave you, despite your authenticity, are not meant to stay. When your intentions are pure and someone chooses to walk away, it's not you who loses them, they lose you. This is because you are offering something valuable: truth, kindness, love, and respect. These qualities are rare in a world where many relationships are built on convenience or mutual benefit rather than genuine connection. By walking away from someone with pure intentions, they are rejecting the possibility of a meaningful, honest relationship. Take, for example, a friendship where you have been nothing but supportive, encouraging, and honest. Yet the other person consistently takes advantage of your kindness or fails to reciprocate. When they leave, it might hurt initially, but over time you will come to realize that their departure has freed you from a one-sided relationship. You didn't lose a friend. They lost someone who truly cared for them. Similarly, in romantic relationships, when your love is genuine, but the other person chooses to leave, it's essential to understand that their departure is not a reflection of your inadequacies. They lost the opportunity to be with someone who loved them sincerely. Their inability to appreciate your pure intentions is their loss, not yours. 3. The power of authenticity in relationships. Authenticity is the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. When you are authentic, you present your true self to the world without fear of judgment or rejection. You don't wear masks or pretend to be someone you're not in order to fit in or gain approval. This level of honesty and transparency is rare, and it's precisely what attracts the right people into your life. However, being authentic also means that you will inevitably repel some people. Not everyone is ready to embrace the truth, and many are uncomfortable around those who are unapologetically themselves. This can be particularly true in environments where people are used to superficial interactions. Authenticity shines a light on the insecurities and fears of those who are not comfortable with their own truth, and as a result, they may distance themselves from you. Let's explore a real-world example. Imagine you're in a workplace where people constantly engage in office politics, backstabbing, and manipulation to get ahead. But instead of joining in, you maintain your integrity, focusing on doing your job well and treating everyone with respect. Over time, you might notice that certain colleagues distance themselves from you or even try to undermine you. This isn't because you've done something wrong. It's because your authenticity threatens the facade they've built. They can't handle your honesty, so they lose the opportunity to work alongside someone who operates from a place of integrity. The same principle applies in friendships and romantic relationships. People who are used to manipulation or deceit might find your authenticity unsettling. But rather than viewing their departure as a loss, recognize that you've made space for people who will appreciate and reciprocate your genuine nature. 4. The fear of losing people. Overcoming the anxiety. It's natural to fear losing people, especially those we care about deeply. Humans are social creatures, and we crave connection. However, the fear of losing someone often leads us to compromise our authenticity in order to keep them in our lives. We might suppress our true feelings, go along with things we don't agree with, or even change who we are to maintain a relationship. But these compromises come at a cost: our own happiness and self-respect. When you live with pure intentions, you must learn to let go of this fear. Holding on to people who don't appreciate your authenticity only leads to frustration and resentment. Instead, trust that those who are meant to be in your life will stay, and those who leave were never truly aligned with your values. It's important to remember that losing people is a natural part of life. People grow and change, and not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. What matters is that you remain true to yourself throughout these transitions. If someone chooses to leave despite your pure intentions, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to appreciate your authenticity. Take, for instance, a relationship where you've been honest about your needs and boundaries, yet the other person refuses to respect them. If they choose to leave because you're standing up for yourself, that's not your loss. In fact, it's a win for your emotional well-being. By letting go of people who don't respect your boundaries, you create space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. 5. Why some people can't handle purity of intentions. Not everyone is capable of recognizing or appreciating pure intentions. Some people have been hurt so many times that they've built walls around their hearts. They've grown accustomed to manipulation, deceit, and selfishness, and they view any display of genuine kindness or sincerity with suspicion. When you interact with these people, your pure intentions may be met with skepticism or even hostility. They might question your motives, assuming that you must want something in return. This is because they've been conditioned to believe that everyone has an agenda. They can't comprehend the idea of someone being kind or loving simply because they want to be. For example, consider someone who has been in a series of toxic relationships. They may have learned to associate love with control, manipulation, or betrayal. When you come into their life offering unconditional love and support, they may not know how to handle it. They might push you away, not because they don't care about you, but because they don't know how to trust someone with pure intentions. It's important to understand that this isn't about you, it's about them. Their inability to accept your sincerity is a reflection of their own wounds and fears. While it can be painful to see someone reject your pure intentions, remember that you cannot force someone to be ready for the love and kindness you offer. In the long run, trying to change someone who isn't ready to accept your authenticity will only lead to frustration and disappointment. Instead, focus on being true to yourself and trust that the right people will come into your life when the time is right. 6. The emotional impact of losing people. Even when you understand that people who leave your life were not meant to stay, it can still hurt. Losing someone you care about, whether it's a friend, family member, or a romantic partner, can feel like a personal rejection. You might question yourself, wondering if you could have done something differently to keep them in your life. It's essential to honor these feelings of loss. Grief is a natural response to losing someone, and it's important to allow yourself to process the emotions that come with it. However, it's also important to keep the bigger picture in mind. Just because someone left doesn't mean you're unworthy or that you did something wrong. It simply means that your paths are no longer aligned. Over time, you'll begin to see that these losses were necessary for your growth. You'll realize that holding on to people who don't appreciate your authenticity only drains your energy and prevents you from attracting those who will uplift and support you. 7. Why pure intentions lead to healthier relationships. When you live with pure intentions, you naturally create healthier, more balanced relationships. This is because pure intentions are rooted in love, respect, and honesty, qualities that are essential for any strong connection. When both people in a relationship are operating from a place of sincerity, there is no need for manipulation, control, or deceit. One of the key reasons why pure intentions lead to healthier relationships is that they create an environment of trust. When you are genuine in your actions and words, the people around you feel safe. They know that they can trust you because you have no hidden agendas. This level of trust allows for deeper emotional intimacy and a stronger bond between individuals. For example, think about a romantic relationship where both partners are committed to being honest and transparent with each other. In this relationship, there is no room for games or manipulation. Both partners feel secure because they know that their love is based on mutual respect and understanding. They don't have to worry about being betrayed or taken advantage of because they trust that their partner's intentions are pure. In contrast, relationships that are built on deceit or ulterior motives are often filled with tension and insecurity. When one person is constantly trying to control or manipulate the other, there is no room for genuine connection. The relationship becomes a battleground where both parties are constantly on guard, waiting for the next attack. This kind of relationship is not sustainable and will eventually lead to heartache and disappointment. 8. The freedom of letting go. One of the most liberating aspects of living with pure intentions is the freedom that comes with letting go of people who don't align with your values. When you let go of relationships that no longer serve you, you create space for more positive, fulfilling connections to come into your life. Letting go doesn't mean that you don't care about the people who leave. It simply means that you recognize that their role in your life has ended, and it's time to move on. This can be a difficult process, especially if you've invested a lot of time and energy into the relationship. However, holding on to people who don't appreciate your authenticity only holds you back. For instance, think about a friendship that has become toxic. You've tried your best to maintain the relationship, but the other person continues to take advantage of your kindness or refuses to respect your boundaries. At some point, you have to ask yourself, is this friendship worth sacrificing my own well-being? By letting go of the toxic relationship, you're not only freeing yourself from unnecessary pain, but you're also making room for healthier, more supportive friendships to come into your life. This principle applies to all types of relationships, whether it's a romantic partnership, a friendship, or even a family relationship. When you let go of people who don't align with your values, you're choosing to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. 9. Why setting boundaries is an act of self-love. Setting boundaries is an essential part of living with pure intentions. Boundaries are not about pushing people away or being selfish. They are about protecting your energy and ensuring that your relationships are healthy and balanced. When you set boundaries, you're making it clear that you value yourself and your well-being. You're letting others know that while you are willing to give love and support, you also expect to be treated with respect. This is an act of self-love, and it's a key component of maintaining healthy relationships. For example, in a romantic relationship, setting boundaries might mean being clear about what behaviors are unacceptable, such as dishonesty or disrespect. If your partner crosses those boundaries, it's a sign that they don't value your well-being, and it may be time to reassess the relationship. By setting boundaries, you're showing yourself and others that you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. 10. Attracting the right people through pure intentions. When you operate from a place of pure intentions, you start to attract people who are on the same wavelength. These are individuals who value honesty, integrity, and kindness. They are the people who will stand by you, not because of what you can do for them, but because they appreciate who you are at your core. This process of attracting the right people may take time, but it's worth the wait. Trust that by staying true to yourself, you are creating the foundation for meaningful, lasting relationships. The universe has a way of bringing the right people into your life when you're aligned with your truth. Consider the concept of vibrational frequency. When you operate from a place of love, compassion, and authenticity, you emit a positive energy that attracts similar energy from others. People who resonate with your frequency will be drawn to you, while those who operate from lower frequencies, such as fear, envy, or manipulation will naturally distance themselves. This is why it's so important to stay true to your pure intentions, even when it feels like you're losing people. The people who leave are not aligned with your energy, and their departure is making space for those who are. 11. How to heal after losing people. Losing someone you care about is never easy, but it's important to recognize that healing is possible. The first step in the healing process is to acknowledge your feelings of grief and loss. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or hurt when someone leaves your life, especially if you had pure intentions in the relationship. However, it's also important to remember that healing is not about erasing the past. It's about accepting it. Accept that the person who left was not meant to stay in your life, and trust that their departure is making room for something better. This doesn't mean that you have to forget about them or pretend that the relationship didn't matter. Instead, focus on the lessons you've learned from the experience and use those lessons to grow and evolve. One of the most powerful tools for healing is forgiveness. Forgiving someone who has hurt you doesn't mean that you condone their actions or that you have to let them back into your life. It simply means that you're choosing to release the anger and resentment that are holding you back. By forgiving, you're freeing yourself from the emotional weight of the past and allowing yourself to move forward with peace and clarity. 12. The spiritual perspective. Karma, energy, and intentions. From a spiritual perspective, there is a belief in the law of karma, the idea that the energy you put out into the universe will eventually come back to you. When you act with pure intentions, you are putting positive energy into the world, and this energy will return to you in the form of positive experiences and relationships. Even if it feels like you're losing people now, trust that the universe is aligning things in your favor. By staying true to your pure intentions, you are creating good karma, and this will manifest in your life in ways that you may not even expect. For example, let's say you've been in a relationship where you consistently acted with love and kindness, but the other person didn't appreciate your efforts. They may have taken advantage of your generosity or failed to reciprocate your affection. Eventually, the relationship ended, and you were left feeling hurt and confused. In this situation, it's easy to feel like your pure intentions were wasted. However, from a spiritual perspective, your kindness and love were not in vain. The energy you put out into the universe will eventually come back to you, even if it's not in the way you expected. You may attract a new partner who appreciates your love and reciprocates it fully, or you may find that other areas of your life start to flourish as a result of the positive energy you've been putting out. 13. Living a life of integrity, staying true to your values. At the core of pure intentions is the concept of integrity. Living with integrity means staying true to your values and acting in alignment with your principles, even when it's difficult. It means doing what's right, not because you expect something in return, but because it aligns with your inner truth. Living a life of integrity requires courage. In a world where many people are driven by self-interest and deception, it can be challenging to remain steadfast in your authenticity. However, when you live with integrity, you create a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that can't be shaken by external circumstances. For example, imagine you're in a situation where you're tempted to compromise your values in order to gain approval or avoid conflict. It might seem easier in the short term to go along with what others want, but in the long run, you'll feel disconnected from your true self. By staying true to your values, even when it's difficult, you're honoring your inner truth and maintaining your integrity. Living with integrity also means taking responsibility for your actions and being accountable for your mistakes. When you make a mistake, it's important to own up to it and take steps to make it right. This level of honesty and accountability is rare, and it's what sets people with pure intentions apart from those who are driven by selfish motives. 14. How to cultivate pure intentions in your daily life. Cultivating pure intentions is an ongoing process that requires self-awareness and mindfulness. Here are some practical steps you can take to ensure that your actions and thoughts are aligned with your pure intentions. Practice self-reflection. Take time each day to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and motivations. Ask yourself if you're acting from a place of love, kindness, and sincerity, or if there are hidden motives driving your behavior. Set clear boundaries. Setting boundaries is an essential part of maintaining pure intentions. By setting boundaries, you're ensuring that your relationships are healthy and balanced, and that you're not compromising your well-being for the sake of others. Communicate openly and honestly. Pure intentions are rooted in honesty. Make a commitment to communicate openly and transparently with the people in your life, even when it's uncomfortable. By being honest, you're building trust and fostering deeper connections. Focus on the present moment. Pure intentions are not concerned with the past or the future. They are focused on the present moment. Practice mindfulness by staying present in your interactions with others and avoid getting caught up in what you hope to gain from the relationship. Let go of expectations. One of the key aspects of pure intentions is acting without expecting something in return. Practice letting go of expectations in your relationships and focus on giving love, kindness, and support simply because it feels right. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Cultivating pure intentions is easier when you're surrounded by people who share your values. Seek out relationships with individuals who appreciate your authenticity and who are committed to living with integrity. Conclusion: embracing the power of pure intentions. In a world that often values superficial connections and hidden agendas, living with pure intentions is a radical act of self-love and authenticity. When your intentions are pure, you don't lose people, they lose you. By staying true to your values, you create space for the right people to come into your life. People who will appreciate your sincerity, love, and kindness. As you move forward on your journey, remember that the people who leave your life when you're being your true self were never meant to stay. Their departure is not a reflection of your worth. It's a sign that they were not aligned with your energy. By letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, you're making room for more meaningful, fulfilling connections. So stay true to yourself, continue to act with pure intentions, and trust that the universe is guiding you toward the people and experiences that are meant for you. The right people will come into your life, and when they do, you'll realize that losing those who didn't appreciate your authenticity was never a loss. It was a blessing in disguise. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Join us on this journey of self-discovery, authenticity, and personal growth. Together, we can create a world where pure intentions are celebrated and genuine connections are cherished. Stay true to yourself, and the right people will always find you.